Thank you all. Thank you, Jim, for hosting. Thank you for having us here tonight. Jim was right. I am going to talk to you about a problem that I have lived very thoroughly through for the past 10 years, but I'm also going to talk to you about how we can make a lot of money from that problem.
Yeah.
So I'm here today to talk to you about a company, of course, and I'm here today to talk to you also, more importantly, about a mission that, should we be successful in it, will save millions and millions of lives. I forgot. Do I need a clicker? There we go. So this is a picture of me curled up on the bathroom floor of a dirty Airbnb at 3 in the morning in the middle of a work trip. I was suffering from what I think is my 25th urinary tract infection at this point. So my husband took this picture. We often travel together. Different floor, same story, 25th urinary tract infection. It was at this point in my career, working out in Silicon Valley, working for some San Francisco tech startup, that I started to realize if I don't solve my own problem, this is going to be my life. This has been my life for 10 years. I need to start leveraging that chemistry degree I got from UNCW to try and figure this out. So I embarked on that journey to try and figure out, how do I prevent my UTIs? Because when a woman goes to the doctor with a UTI, she's given antibiotics and she's sent home. She's told maybe to drink some cranberry juice and that's it. So I needed to figure out how to prevent these UTIs from destroying my life like they were. And if you never had a UTI, this is what it feels like. Burning. It's very painful, very, very painful condition that not just women suffer from, although women are the most affected group, young women specifically, but also elders and children are hugely impacted by these infections. In fact, as I started to research this and talk to my own family members about what I was dealing with, I realized that the three biggest demographics that are affected by urinary tract infections, elders, children, and young women, are represented here in my own family. This is a picture of me and my grandpa. So is a veteran, a badass by all accounts, but he suffered from a chronic UTI until the day that he died. And also my niece Layla, who after beating cancer as an infant was sent back to the hospital 5 and 6 years old with recurrent UTIs. And of course me at this time, just the beginning of my UTI journey. Had I known then, had the girl in that photo known then what I know today about preventing urinary tract infections, my grandpa could have been spared a great deal of suffering. My niece wouldn't have had to go back to the hospital, and I wouldn't have almost lost my life 3 months ago, which I'll get into later in this presentation. So we got a big problem here, and the problem is urinary tract infections affect 250 million people per year around the globe. They're affecting more and more people every year, and we're running out of antibiotics to treat these UTIs with. 30 years ago, we could use penicillin. It doesn't work anymore. Cipro is a commonly prescribed antibiotic, 30% resistance rates. It's not going to work in 10 years. We need to figure out a different solution, but we're lucky because a lot of smart people have studied this problem, and they've concluded that there's a solution to our UTI problem, and the solution is prevention. And I agree with what Bill Gates said about prevention when he commented on the AIDS crisis. He said that treatment without prevention is simply unsustainable. That's a nice way of Bill Gates saying it's stupid. It's stupid to not prevent things, to only try and treat them. And there's a huge market for preventing urinary tract infections. There's a lot of money to be made here. 25% of every antibiotics in the United States are being used to treat a urinary tract infection. 1% of all Americans last year went to their local Walgreens and bought cranberry pills to try and help treat and prevent their urinary tract infections. Now here's a secret, you heard it here first, cranberry pills do not work. Total nonsense, lie, mythical unicorn bullcrap bought and paid for by Ocean Spray. Yeah, the reason that you think cranberry juice helps with UTIs is because Ocean Spray funded a study about it. But dozens of other studies, including ones by Harvard, have tested this theory and proven that cranberries offer no benefit to urinary tract infections, not in treatment or prevention, and yet 1% of every American last year went out and bought cranberry pills based on a lie. So there's a huge amount of money to be made here, huge opportunities. It's also the #1 hospital-acquired infection, but our competitors are not capitalizing on this. I know this because I've been buying their products for 10 years. This is a cranberry company who served me an ad in my Facebook newsfeed in which they called my UTI sexy. My life-threatening infection, they think is sexy. Yeah, you know it was a dude who made this ad. So, on top of just not getting it, they also haven't been innovating on this. The products that Josh would go to the grocery store in the middle of the night to try and buy for me to help my UTIs, the products on the shelves 10 years ago are the same products on the shelf now. And here's another little secret. If you ever do need to go to that section of the grocery store, you're not going to find UTI pain relievers in the cold and flu. In the pain relief section, you're going to find them next to the condoms. So none of these products are changing. It's the exact same products 10 years ago that are on the shelf today. No one is innovating. And when that happens, women suffer. But it also leaves us a great opportunity when we don't innovate for women. And we saw that opportunity being taken advantage of by Spanx. For 50 years, we had the same pantyhose that were designed by men, and that's why they sucked. And so Sarah Blakely saw an opportunity. She said, I'm going to design this the way women need it to be designed. I'm going to innovate and solve this problem for women. And Spanx is now $1 billion company. Nobody is innovating on UTI products for women, except us. So we went about trying to solve my own problem and eventually discovered how to solve my own problem through preventing UTIs with medically proven, a scientifically proven substance called Dmanna. It comes in a white powder. It's a little, and we put it in a little packet. You take it every day, and it prevents up to 85% of UTIs. There's been 3 clinical trials on this. The contents in this packet, this powder, is going to change the world. People will go to the doctor in 30 years, and instead of being told to take an antibiotic, they're going to be told to take this. You heard it here first. So we set out to create a line of products, UTI prevention products, that are actually based on science and not cranberry nonsense. And that became our first product, was this little Dmanna packet where you take once a day and it prevents your UTIs. So we based this product in science, which is what our competitors have not been doing. We based our product in clinical studies. Clinical studies that showed that when women take our product, 2 grams of Dmanna every single day, compared to women who take antibiotics every single day, which was what I had to do, antibiotics that destroyed my health, they found women taking antibiotics every single day got a UTI on average 6 times a year. So it was somewhat better than doing nothing, but it still wasn't preventing their UTIs. Women taking Dmanna, women taking that little white powder, you put it in a drink every day. Women who did this every day in the clinical trials got an average of 1 UTI a year. That's the difference of 6 urinary tract infections a year down to 1 UTI a year. Another clinical trial found that women who took Dmanna, well, first of all, every woman who goes to the doctor with UTI gets antibiotics. 40% of those women will get another UTI in 6 months. She's going to get another UTI and another UTI. They found that women who took Dmanna every day, only 4% of them got another UTI in 6 months, compared to women who did nothing. 33% of them got another UTI in 6 months. And I wouldn't have believed it unless I tried it for myself and I solved my own UTI problem using this product. So we created the product, and we set about trying to develop a business model around having the most impact in the shortest amount of time. So we launched last year, and for the past 14 months, that's what we've been working on. What's going to be the way we have the shortest amount of impact, or the biggest impact in the shortest amount of time? So we went B2C, and we're selling online. We'll do about 200K in sales this year. That's great. We also approached B2B. We're like, how can we get doctors to recommend this? We're currently being recommended in physical therapy offices, in urology offices. This is a picture of us with Coastal Urology. Yes, that's a prosthetic penis in the picture. And we also have been working with IU Health in Indiana to develop a clinical trial, and also recently entered discussions with UNCW to do some clinical studies. So we're making progress, but one of the biggest opportunities we uncovered as we were entering the market and testing this product was in Mexico, where they've seen a 500% increase in UTIs. So we have a head of mechanistic operations down there. We formed a company down there. We have our sales license down there, and they are going nuts for Dmanna in Mexico. We partnered with a distributor to bring a Dmanna product, for the Mexican market, a Dmanna product, to his 4,000 pharmacies, because they're not too proud to turn their nose up at this solution. When I talk to doctors here, sometimes I have to go toe-to-toe and convince them why they should be recommending this to women. I don't have to convince doctors in Mexico. They already see it working. These women are writing us handwritten letters in Spanish saying, "You've changed my life. I didn't know what to do before this."
Hey Sarah, is that a 500 increase in reporting, or the problem?
I think it's the problem because they've had a huge antibiotic overuse issue there, which also predisposes people to UTIs.
Okay.
Yeah, so it could be, but I suspect not. So we've got our Mexican team down there. We've got doctors writing prescriptions for Dmanna. So this is the opportunity that we're focused on right now because of the amount of impact it can have in the short amount of time by partnering with that pharmacy. So the financial projections, everyone in this room has seen a pitch. You all know that projections at this stage are pure conjecture, but I can tell you a little bit about what we think the market opportunity size is and let you form your own conclusions. We know that 1% of Americans bought cranberry pills last year. That's over $50 million they spent on something that doesn't work. In 10 years, there's not going to be cranberry pills on the shelves. There's going to be Dmanna's products. And we're going to be the company that leads that charge. We're going to be the company getting these solutions that actually work into the hands of patients who need them. So the core team behind this project, behind this company, has got things rolling. We've got myself, and we've also got my husband, Josh Harkis, who before launching Dmanna with me, had actually co-founded a private jet media company. His job was literally to fly around on private jets and take pictures and get his picture taken. He left that to talk about urinary tract infections. That is a good man right there. We've also got advisors, our local CFO, Mike McEwen, who is the head of Mexican operations, and our local internist at the hospital here, Dieter Wefwan. And you already might know Josh and I from our previous hits here in Wilmington. We had a marketing agency that's still based in here. It's been based here for 7 years. We did $23 million in revenue for clients and for ourselves with that business. There's one thing I'm more passionate about than preventing UTIs, and that's making money. So we love working on projects for clients, but now we're working mostly on using our marketing and sales prowess to help launch Dmanna, to help women solve their UTI problem. We've also had some other successes out in San Francisco. We've also taken our own money to fund and launch this company and to grow sales. And when Jim talked earlier, when he presented, talking about helping our local families, helping local people here, helping our friends, helping the people in this community, that really resonated with me. Because we have a huge opportunity here when Wilmington responds to help the local women solve their problem with our solution. It can start here. Local retail shops, with local hospitalists. We met with heads of infectious disease control here. And it needs to start here because I was almost the story of what happens when we don't prevent urinary tract infections. 3 months ago, I was hospitalized with a life-threatening kidney stone infection that turned septic. And the reason I was hospitalized and almost died was not because of a urinary tract infection. It was because for 10 years I've been prescribed antibiotics to take every single day, and I've taken so many antibiotics now that my kidneys are now predisposed to kidney stones. And as a result of those antibiotics that I had to take for the UTIs. Kidney stone turned septic and sent me to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, the pain was so bad, the nurse asked me, "How does the morphine feel?" And I just stared at her. I said, "When did you give me morphine?" The fentanyl worked though, and that's why I'm smiling in this picture. I felt the fentanyl. That actually did work. But 3 months ago, this was almost not a happy ending. And I hate to think that there are women in this community who might end up like me when we have a solution right around the corner of how to help them prevent winding up where I did, New Hanover Regional Medical Center, fighting for my life because of these infections. So what we're asking for today is not funding, it's your support. I would love if you would consider what we're trying to do here. I've been so encouraged, humbled, and honored that people in this community have taken the time to give me feedback, to give me advice, to challenge our ideas out of the kindness and generosity, expecting nothing in return. I've had multiple conversations with people about urinary tract infections, grown men who are willing to talk through this issue and give us advice, and I just so appreciate that. And so I would so appreciate your support here tonight. If you want to whip out your phones and sign up for our emails, we will send you our progress, we will keep you in the loop, and when there is if there does come a time where we do ask for funding, we'll go here first. You know, the Wilmington community is something we want to continue to invest in. We've had a lot of success here. We moved from San Francisco to Wilmington to launch this company here. So we chose to be here. We hope you'll choose to support us. Thank you all.
Did you tell the audience about how much it actually costs? Which is a very low-cost solution.
Yes, low-cost solution for a big problem. So when you buy our product, you can buy it for $29 a month. It will prevent urinary tract infections. I used to